all of you for being here, our VIPs for joining us, especially our press for doing such a fantastic job promoting this sport that we love so much all over the world. And I also want to thank our partners at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for all they do for the kids and their families who are battling cancer. We have really worked hard this year, and we're going to continue to work to raise money for that cause. Everyone here, every fan has stepped up. Please continue to do that. Don't forget, we are still doing the auction, which will end Monday, for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's Monday, May 13th, 9 p.m. Eastern. Please bid and bid generously to help these kids out. You can go to supercrosslive.com/St. Jude and bid on some incredible items, including items from your new champion. Let's give a big round of applause for Jett Lawrence, your 2024 Supercross champion. Purple is the color of royalty, and you will wear it well. Jett, I believe this is your 7th championship in a row. I think you talked to Will on the podium and said, it really hasn't sunk in yet. But I'm going to ask you again, what are you feeling right now? What are your emotions as you keep this incredible championship train rolling?
I think the most thing is it's finally over, really. I mean, it's felt like a long season, but then also it's gone kind of fast. But no, I guess the emotions will probably set in more tomorrow or Monday, but right now I'm just obviously super happy about it, and just more so happy to do it for the team,
Congratulations to you and your team and your family as well. Let's go to our press right here. Andrea
Ruggiero, Motor Now Blog. Jett, what was going through your mind during that main event? Were you thinking about the championship? I know you were kind of riding by yourself for most of it, or were you just focusing on the race?
The whole time in my head was don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. So any bit of little bit of sketchiness, we just backed it down. We'll go and Mum would have been happy with that. Any risk that could have been taken, we kind of took it out. So yeah.
Dan Beaver, NBC for Jett. The obvious question is how do you feel about the championship? But having to settle into running that safe pace, do you think that helps with the maturation process? And you're now going into second seasons and everything, but did having to settle into a safe pace help you take another step in your development?
I don't know. I mean, normally I'm not liking going slow, but hey, I mean, that was the pace. We just kind of found that was safe, and but we just had to kind of bring it in to what points we had to get. We luckily ended up getting a decent enough point see where it wasn't too much of a stressful night. So we just, ended up giving myself a decent start, and then just kind of went from there. And, I don't think the pace would have improved me at all or anything, but we'll take the pace how it is, and we got a championship out of that one, so yeah.
All right, let's go to Jamie Guida.
Jamie Guida, Vital Mix. Hey, Jett, you just said you were kind of saying don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake. We did not see the pass you made on Jason Anderson, but we did see you look back, and then you did make a mistake. Was there an incident when you passed Jason? Was it that you were looking back for, and did that get in your head a little bit?
I think he just forgot that there was 2 Lawrences out there, and he did it right in front of one of the other Lawrences. So, guys like them, they just need to hit in the mouth sometimes. So, yeah, but thankfully the mistake kind of worked out. I was like, oh, no, a mistake. But then it's like, oh, no, please. So it kind of helped me getting my stuff rocked. But yeah, it's what it is.
All right, well, congratulations, man. Great year.
Thank you.
Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from RacerX. Jett, obviously, congrats on the championship and a great season. We all know the story about you leaving your family and you leaving your home in Australia. Did you ever think, as a kid, you'd ever get to this point as a Supercross champion on 450? Was that ever, it's probably the goal, but was it ever a realistic thing as you as a 9, 10-year-old kid when you first left home?
Honestly, no, I don't think, not really any. I mean, at that age, I was still just more excited to go play with friends and stuff at 9 and that. But honestly, it really became a goal to win a 450 championship kind of until the end of last year, really. Once I got my outdoor one, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I could do this. Let's try and go for Supercross. So, I mean, it's definitely a dream come true. Once we got here, we obviously thought about it. It would be awesome and that stuff, but you can never really look ahead and kind of think, oh, yeah, I can do that. Because it's it's very unheard of, So I think the last person I know of, my dirt bike history sucks, but I think it was Ryan Dungey won his rookie season in Supercross. So, yeah, not many people can do it. And I'm just grateful enough that I had an awesome team behind me, that they gave me an awesome bike, and was able to kind of get that for them.
Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. Looking back at the season, Jett, is there any one moment that kind of stands out to you as, you know, that was the highlight for you, like a defining moment, you know, just looking back at the past 17 races?
I think the one that comes to mind is obviously Anaheim 2, of kind of in the open ceremony getting the whole stadium booing me. At the time I thought it was great, because I mean, people are still going to come and watch either if they want to see me win or see me lose. So for me, it was a kind of a cool thing. And I mean, Ricky's told me, James told me, they all got booed at one stage, McGrath too. So I might have got booed in a different way, but we're going to take it the same way as theirs, because just say we did. But I think that was probably the biggest one. And I mean, we could have had a good night, but we just kind of messed it up ourselves. We're still learning some stuff. But I think that, and then obviously winning the championship, is also a good uppercut to those guys. So, yeah.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Brent Bowser.
Yeah, Brent Bowser with Ski Thorough Media. Jett, you went 22-0 last year in outdoors, 8 wins this year, champion. I got to know, I mean, obviously you're a really good rider. Did you expect this in your first year? And if so, like, how does it feel? How did it feel when you went over the finish line knowing that you're a 450 Supercross champ?
Hell no, I didn't know I was going to be this good on a 450. So, I mean, yeah, in outdoors, you obviously have that kind of high goal. And that high goal for me was obviously just a championship. Because, I mean, we got a good friend of mine, Dylan Fernandez, did it in 21, I think it was. Yeah, 21, and it was like, well, it's possible. But then going 22-0 was kind of a bit surprising to myself too. And then obviously this year was like, all right, if we can do outdoors, let's see if we can try and do Supercross too. And it started off good. We had some ups and downs, but I mean, kind of every racer, I mean, I think has the same mentality going in. They want to go in, they want to win championships. So I think it's not anything special of me thinking I want to win a championship, but I think definitely. I don't want to say I kind of lost track, but we're pumped.
Victoria.
Hey, congrats.
Thanks, mate.
Victoria Beaver, Road and Track. In the outdoor season, you didn't get a chance to learn from a lot of your mistakes because there weren't many of them. This year, you did. Between San Francisco and San Diego and learning how to deal with a mutter, by the time we hit the East Coast, you could race not that bad of tracks, but there was definitely a difference. Moments like that, where you've learned from mistakes in this first Supercross 450 season and championship, what do you take away from those moments?
Obviously San Fran wasn't the best for me, and I thought I was a mud guy. Apparently I wasn't. And then obviously San Diego, I was dealing with my both thumb injury, kind of spraining them pretty badly and having them puffed up like balloons on Saturday morning. So we had that to deal with. But it's just good learning. I mean, there's always stuff I can learn. Even in the outdoors, I still learned stuff. It wasn't like I just kind of rode out there and didn't learn anything. I learned a new thing every race almost, because it's just a new thing for me with the 450. But I think it's definitely the small things going to help. And like you said, once we got back to the east and the rudder tracks, where I think our bike works very well. With the softer dirt and having our bike stiffer, I think it really, really showed. And obviously, I felt more comfortable like that with training in Florida. So,
Chase?
Jace, Gypsy Tales, mate. First of all, on behalf of all Australia, I feel pretty confident in saying congratulations, and we're all very, very proud of you. But where do you go now, already winning every single thing that there is to win? Like, there's not even a perfect season outdoors for you to check off the box. Like, that's it. You've cleaned the championship house now, but you're 20 and you've got a massive career in front of you. Have you had any chance to reflect on where the goalpost shifts to now, and what is going to be the new goals going forward?
I mean, hey, Ricky did it twice. So, I mean, we may as well try and go for another season. But no, it's I think that's the hard thing. And I feel like, obviously, if I'm struggling, I can always talk to Ricky or James because those guys won multiple championships, and I think that would give me some good advice. But I think it's hard because if you get to a stage where you are winning everything, it's kind of you get into a slump where it's like, oh, I win. So it's like kind of get that mental frame back into kind of humbling and, all right, there's still people coming. And I think my crew around me does that very well. Obviously, I still know there's people coming still and wrong word. Still getting better by the day. Sorry, is a better word. My bad. So, yeah, I think that always keeps my head down. And obviously, I have HJ at the compound too, and he's getting better and better each day. And I mean, you guys got a small glimpse of what he could do last weekend, and that's just a small glimpse. So I see what he does almost every day at the practice track, and I know he's going to be a pain in my ass sometime in the future. So yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be a bit of a follow-up is how gratifying was it this year? Obviously a super rough start to his 450 career. You're doing extremely well. He's doing pretty bad at the start. Is it very gratifying for you as a brother to watch his development through that process? And you both ended the season on a high together.
You know, as a brother, it sucks, you know. I wanna see him doing good as well, and if I'm doing good and he's doing bad, it kind of like I don't really want to celebrate what I did. It's like, sorry for my language, it feels shitty for celebrating just because he had such a bad night or something went wrong or had a crash, that stuff. It's kind of like, I honestly don't, it sounds bad, sorry, but like I don't care if I won that night. It's like, Hunter had a bad race, and obviously I care about him so much. I want him to do just as good as I'm doing, you know. So it's a hard thing to kind of balance in this kind of racing career because obviously you want to see your brother do good, but we're also competing, so you want to do yourself good too. But it's hard. But I mean, my dad's brought us up really well to kind of racing's racing, but also let the best man win kind of sometimes. So, but no, it definitely sucked at the start of the year seeing him doing bad because all I wanted him to do was do good.
Nick Still.
Yeah, thank you, Nick Still, Moto Online. Hey, Jett, for you can plan how the night's going to go, but, you know, after the heat races, seeing some weather come in, does that start to throw the imagination and a bit of belief of you don't know what you're going to be facing, you don't know what that track's going to do? How was that feeling, you know, sitting there waiting to see what was going to happen?
I was losing it in the truck because all I wanted to do and the most calmest I've been all day is when I was on my bike. So all I wanted to do is just get to the main and just get the gate drop going. So that for me was killing me. But no, it's kind of, I mean, you can't fully predict really with our sport. So for me, it's just like I just got to execute a start and just kind of go from there. And whatever I get dealt with, I'll deal with it. But the long wait definitely made it a little more painful to try and get it done.
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Ryan Nitzen.
Thanks. Yeah, Ryan Nitzen with Cycle News. My question's for Jett. Hey, great rides tonight. But going back to tonight's race, were you having any sense of urgency when you saw Cooper start ahead of you?
No, not really. Obviously, I knew the points. I know my math ain't the greatest in previous races, but obviously knew if he's this in front of me, I'm doing okay. So it wasn't too much of an urgency. It was kind of just getting settled in and making sure I'm in a safe environment, you could kind of say, where I could just kind of click off my laps, just do like a normal practice day, kind of cruise in laps, just consistent, no mistakes, and yeah.
Jim Kimball with Motocross Action. Jett, you won a lot of races this year. When I look at the races you've won, a couple of them were kind of pivotal, like A1, Daytona, the Indianapolis Triple Crown. Was there one race that really stands out in this year?
I think for me it would obviously be I'd have to say Nashville, just because I had a few good bad runs with some rounds and lost 21-point lead, so we're tied. So I feel like that was a good turning point for me to kind of rebound and I felt really good all that day really. So I was kind of pumped about that. I think that was one of my favorites, and obviously Daytona was sick too. It's just an awesome racetrack and how it was. I think it kind of was pretty gnarly where it kept me focused and I kind of had actually fun with it. Might sound crazy, but I actually had a lot of fun racing Daytona and obviously Triple Crown. Normally I'm not a great Triple Crown guy, but I think that out of all of them, I think the biggest one was Nashville because it's tied. I think it makes it one of the best just because we had a tie in the points and I was able to thankfully get a win.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now blog. After tonight, does your mindset go straight into prep for outdoors, or do you get to take some time off?
I think, yeah, naturally you do. Obviously, kind of got to celebrate a little bit. I think I was talking about yesterday, kind of learn to take in the small things and obviously the big things too, and celebrate when it's a good achievement. And I mean, I think today and tomorrow we'll probably definitely look back and appreciate what I've done and celebrate a bit. But then once it gets to Monday, kind of back into training, obviously focus on the outdoors. I got to defend the title, and obviously I always say the second one's always hardest. So, but no, back in the outdoors, yeah, kind of focus on that.
Have you already started testing for outdoors?
I didn't do much testing. I think our base from last year, we got to try a few different things, but our base from last year was just so good at the end of the year. Derek did an awesome job, and obviously the team with chassis parts and that stuff. So didn't do much testing, but also I was kind of hurt after St. Louis, so I didn't get to do much riding. But thankfully enough, I got a little bit of outdoor riding in, a little bit of outdoor legs underneath me, and thankfully it's a little easier going from Supercross to outdoors.
Jett Lawrence, congratulations once again to you and your team and your family for this incredible championship. One more time, our new champ for 2024, the Jett Lawrence. We're going to move on to our 250 champions. And we're going to start with RJ Hampshire. 3 different countries represented in these championships. Jett Lawrence from Australia, Tom Vialle from France, and RJ Hampshire from America. So we're going to celebrate this international championship finale here in Salt Lake City. And we will get your West Coast champion for the 250 class. Great battle in the Dave Coombs Sr. East-West Showdown as he sets up. It's a beautiful helmet right there from his team and some serious hardware. Labels out there on that one. Give it up for RJ Hampshire, your 250 West champ for 2024. And RJ, I know when you get a win, we've talked about it before, you like to bring that trophy home. Your daughter likes the bigger trophies, likes the big ones, and you have one you can bring to her. You've had a hard road, to say the least, to get here. And so I'm just going to ask you basically, of all you've been through, the things you've been through, how important, how emotional is this moment for you and your team?
Yeah, it's so special, and I can sit up here for hours and just, everybody has their own story. And yeah, I was determined to write my own and to have a championship, just to be a part of that, man, truly special. Like, I've had so many ups, so many downs, and still just people that believed in me. And I've always worked hard my entire life, and just to be in this position, to have the team. And, man, my group's small, but the best guys that I could, ask for. And that just goes to show, it definitely plays a big role in, my results and how I am each weekend. And, yeah, just how the vibes are around the team. And like I said, my group, I would not change. So just massive, thanks to, everyone that's been involved and been a part of this story.
Well, you believed in yourself and it paid off. Congratulations, Scott.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now blog. At what point in that race did you kind of realize that, hey, this is your title? And did you start kind of thinking about the title and kind of not focusing on the race?
I was the fastest guy all day today. I can go as fast as I needed to go, and that's just how it was. I had a decent start, did what I needed to do there. And I was just trying to stay out of the way. Like, Smitty caught me kind of in the inside early, and I was like, all right, I'm fine with that, no worries. Let me just follow in behind them. I was triple into on. That right-hander after the big triple went 3 on. I don't know why I did that. I did it 3 laps in a row, and it was just like, all right, dude, you need to chill. And then it wasn't until I think it was 6 minutes left. Then the long rhythm, I took a look up, and I seen we had 6 minutes left. I knew where Levi was. I was like, okay, I'm fine. I can click these off, no problem. And just, was marking my spot, knew kind of where he was, knew where I needed to be. I changed some lines to not risk what I was doing, like the wrong rhythm, inside, double, whoops. I was jumping really fast, just going 3-3-3. And then once Smitty went down late, and then, Deegs was there, I started catching him, and I was like, dude, go. I don't want to win this. Go. Like, dude, yeah, stay away from me. Like, I'm trying. And then he's getting sketchy in the woods. I'm like, dude, jump. Like, jump. I don't care. Yeah, I was trying to stay as far away from him as I could. But yeah, and then he had a tough block. I think it was 2 to go, and tough block fell right. Like, way too close for comfort. Yeah, just another one of those times where I've never been in my life where it's like, okay, I do not want to win this race. Just please stay away from me. But yeah, the last couple laps, I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, we finally did it.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. Yes, you were fast all day. You were the fastest all day, but there was no margin of error. Broadcasters were kind of speculating that there might have been a little surprise when Kitchen was as strong as he was in the heat. Did that occur to you at all, or at that point was it just, I just got to settle through, I got to do this, and all that matters is the feature?
Man, Levi's rode awesome all year, and when he gets a start, he's solid as can be if he starts in front of me. And yeah, I mean, we have so much respect for each other. I could have done something stupid in that heat race, but really just kind of put everything into that start for that main event. And I knew I needed to get in front of him. I seemed to make passes a little bit easier than him coming through. Yeah, I mean, once I kind of spotted him and knew where I was, like my times were solid. So, yeah, I wasn't too worried about it.
Jace,
Gypsy Tales, mate. First of all, congratulations. You've been at this a minute. You've been in some title fights. Was there anything different this year that you did different, or that you've, like an accumulation of knowledge to get to this point? Or is this just a legit message to riders out there to just stay in the game, keep working, and eventually it's going to happen?
No, I mean, it's not that. Like I said, we all have our own story, and everybody can look back on my past and tell, like, man, I had some injuries that were gnarly. Like my TBI back in 15, like I always kind of go back to that, where I was racing 2 years and I didn't even know I was racing. Like I couldn't even tell you the race that was going on. So yeah, like everybody has their own story. Man, it's just a long road. Like I've always put the work in. I believed in myself, and I've clawed my way out of situations where a lot of people probably wouldn't have. And honestly, the one thing that I've always cherished myself on is like my relationships with everyone I've worked with in the past. Like you're not going to find someone that I've burnt a bridge with, or anyone that I've passed in my career that, I've done wrong. So I think that goes a long way in the sport.
Yeah, Nate Ramsey literally said to me as soon as I got down and saw him, he's like, man, he is just the best guy.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be, just because I know what it takes to go racing on the weekends, and all the work that goes into me to go out there and perform. Yeah, and I know what hard work is. Like, I haven't had this my whole life. Man, I had to work for everything I've ever had, so a lot more appreciation for that.
Mitch Kendra.
Mitch Kendra from Racer X. Obviously, RJ, we know you're a gritty guy. Congrats on sticking with it and getting this title.
Thank you.
You said you're just thankful to be in this position in general coming into this round. Talk about, does it feel like more of a weight off your shoulders and more of a relief, or is it more like, are you ecstatic to win it? Like, I guess kind of manage the mental side of it.
I mean, honestly, Tuesday this week was probably the roughest day I've had. Just thinking about things, and the weight off my shoulders came literally Tuesday. Like, I needed to flip a switch. Like, I was thinking about everything. I still had to go ride, still had to practice, and it was just like, man, things were coming fast. I was thinking way too much. So instead of thinking about it, just, hey, look, let's turn this weekend into fun. I'm going to be fast from the time I get on the track, even on Friday. I've literally told the guys that, like, look, I'm going to be the guy, all day. So yeah, I just kind of brought that into today, and I was fastest almost every time I was on the track, and I could go as fast as I needed to go tonight. So yeah, I just had that confidence. I really wasn't stressed out. Yeah, the rain delay sucked, because then I definitely had to think about it a little bit longer, or like just had to sit on it. But yeah, it all came together here at the end.
Yeah, and real quick, did the East Rutherford rain delay last year, like, did you kind of like any of that? Just, I guess, did you lean on anything you did that during that break to just like regroup and kind of stay in it?
No, I didn't finish East Rutherford good, so I tried not to think about that one.
You had to bring up East Rutherford, Mitch. Thank you. All right, let's go to Jamie Guida.
Jamie Guido, Vital MX. RJ, I'm going to tag on to the monkey off your back kind of statement there. And now that this is done, do you feel that the extra confidence you have from this championship and the relief will be a positive going into outdoors in a couple weeks? You're obviously not going to know the answer for a couple weeks, but do you feel like it kind of frees you up to enter that with a little less stress?
I mean, yes and no. Like, I started riding outdoors a few weeks ago and spent a few days on it. But then just how these last couple of weeks have gone, I have not even thought about outdoors, to be honest with you. I feel really good on my bike. I know I have a good setting already to jump on. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to, fight for a title here on outdoors, and I believe I can. And, I can be the guy at outdoors also. I said in the beginning of the year, it's like, year 2024, it's going to be for the 24. So I'm going to try to do that for outdoors also.
All right. Well, thanks. And again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Ryan Nitson.
Thanks. Yeah, Ryan Nitson with Cycle News. RJ, just awesome ride today. Can you take us through what you did differently to just execute every time you were on track? We've kind of seen some up and down races throughout the year, but today you just executed every time you hit the track.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I just felt really good on my bike. I have an awesome setting, and we don't go far away from that. And honestly, I made a change. I said in an interview, I made a change after St. Louis. Like, dude, I got smoked. Got my ass kicked 2 weekends in a row, and needed to do something different. So made a change after that, and I stuck with it, and I'll probably never go off of it. Just something small, and I do think that it helps my riding style and the way I ride a lot.
Jeff Beaver.
Jeff Beaver, Whiskey Throttle Media. This question, I want to know: have you decided? Are you going to defend next year, or do you want to go 450?
Now's a good time to talk about an extension. I'll tell you that. I mean, what I want, I think will happen. So I'll tell you guys, my plan is I want to spend all off season on a 450, train like I'm going racing on a 450, defend next year West Coast on a 250, race the opposite coast on 450, and then make my debut at full-time outdoors next year. That's what I personally would want to do.
Well, thank you for the honesty. Congratulations, bud.
Thank you.
Brent Bowser.
Yeah, Brent Bowser, Whiskey Throttle Media. RJ, congrats on the championship. Our boy Bruce is really proud right now. And, hey, I got to know, going in that race, what were the nerves like? And then to come out at the end of the night as a champion, you've been fast for a long time. And I think we're all stoked to see you win. So just kind of run us through your emotions tonight.
Yeah, I had that look. I just had that feeling literally since I showed up this weekend with my family. Enjoyed ourselves. Like, we did nothing different. Took my daughters to a butterfly biosphere thing on Thursday, and just take my mind off it. And I knew I could get it done today. Just kind of execute and put myself in a good spot and have a chance at it. I really wasn't too nervous going into it.
Alex Gilbert.
Yeah, thanks. Firstly, congratulations, RJ. We've seen you finish second in the Supercross points for the past 2 seasons behind Jett Lawrence, but this year you managed to come out and deliver in one of the toughest situations, tied on points into the final round. So how would you rate yourself and, the package that you're on, compared to now versus the past couple of years?
I mean, it's definitely took a step up, but also I was racing Jett Lawrence, who just crushed the 450 class as rookie year. So it's hard to really say. And I mean, to be honest with you, I would be out of the 250 class a while ago if the AMA rules were the same as what they were when I first started. Just lucky enough, like I'm still around and I'm getting better. I'm the best version of myself right now. I know there's a lot left. I know I can be really good on a 450. Just kind of, it's crazy to say, like, I am 28, but I feel super young. I'm still learning. And I do feel like I have a lot more like to look forward to in my career, and it's not like towards the end stage of any.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You brought up the rule then. Being a guy that I guess benefited from the rule change, what's your personal take on that rule? And I guess speaking of your situation, like how it kind of applies to you, but I guess now you're in a situation where you'd have to defend and then go out, so you're not really in any kind of predicament with the rule now, but just your general feeling on the rule and like how you think this rule is best applied to this 250 class going forward.
I mean, it's not the same as what it was back in the day. Like, our sponsors are getting so much from me racing a 250, and that's just how it is. Like, and it wouldn't be that way if I was not still in the class. So business-wise, exposure-wise, everything, like, there's no really wrong to it. People can hate or say whatever as much as they want, but we're still at the top of our game. Like, man, we have to be good on a 250. Like, yeah, it's taken me a while, but I've learned a lot, switch teams, and there's a lot that goes into it. So I don't necessarily know that the rule's right, but also, like, I don't think I would change it necessarily. Like, I think you should ride it as long as you can, as long as you want to. If you do win a championship, I do believe you do need to move out. But yeah, I mean, if you give me an option to defend next year, 100%, I'm going to try.
And just what about the coast in general? Like, do you see the benefit in like combining the 250 class and making it a full championship? Because like you said, like the level that you guys are on, Jett was here last year and then now he's just completely dominated the 450 class. Like, is there an argument to join the classes, make it 17 races, and that would bring even more legitimacy to guys like yourself?
The way I look at it is I would say that you should run East 4 rounds, West 4 rounds, 6 combined. And I feel like that would be a legit championship, and no one can say anything bad about that. Like, we have good racing. Both of our showdowns were awesome. So yeah, more showdowns, and yeah, I think you can't really complain about that.
And would you still give an East and a West championship?
Yeah, I would say, because then you just get the combined points. So yeah, I mean, you're still racing that, but also you're giving the fans a lot more like show.
Well, you gave us a great show this year. Congratulations, you're 2024 250 West champion. This is RJ Hampshire. Well done, sir. We've got more coming up. We'll have Tom Vialle make his way to the stage here, and then stick around. We have our Futures podium after that. So more to come here in Salt Lake City. All right, we have another champion here. This one from France. Big round of applause. Tom Vialle, 250 East champion. Locked it up. And Tom Vialle, I want to talk to you a little about what's happened and how quickly you have made this ascent to championship in America. It hasn't been an easy road. And I talked to Stéphane Legrand from Les Big USA. And he says there's a phrase in French. I won't attempt it in French, but it roughly translates as 1 year to learn, 1 year to win. And we heard that and we're like, well, no, you need like 3 years to get prepped and get it done. And you lived up to that. Have you heard that before? And was that your goal, to learn for 1 year and then win in the second year, the championship?
I don't know. That's pretty amazing to, of course, if you can learn 1 year and then won the second year. But, to be honest, I didn't really expect. My goal was to be consistent during the whole season and, of course, try to fight for the win. But, I mean, I don't know, after I won Daytona and 2 in a row in Birmingham, I just felt, okay, I got that. Like, I was pretty close. I can fight for the title, and, I made it to the end. So it's pretty amazing, to be honest. I felt great all season. Way better than last year. I was struggling a lot last year, and I feel like going to the Supercross this year, I was enjoy it more, and was really amazing.
And you have MX2 championships as well leading into this. So of course it wasn't his first year racing, but well done, very consistent, and congratulations. Let's go right here, Dan.
Dan Beaver, NBC. Can you walk us through some of the emotions of the struggle in the heat, then the modest gate pick or less than optimal gate pick, and your great start in the feature? What was that roller coaster like for you?
Actually, I had a good day in the practice in the afternoon. I felt great, and I had a bad start in the heat race, and the track was really muddy. We were first on the track, and the track was really wet, really slippery, muddy. So I was like struggling a lot, and I was I think 8 or 9 at qualifying. So I was pretty bad, and I couldn't really pass anyone on the heat race. So I was like, okay, the track is a little bit sketchy, and I was 8 or 9. So I think 18 overall for the gate pick is pretty bad. I was far outside, and I don't know, like at the 30-second board, I was like, okay, I need that start. I need to have a good start, and I actually had a great start. I was in top 5th or 6th maybe, and then I've seen on lap 2, I think Aiden first. So I was like, okay, I cannot do any mistake, because I knew like I was like, I think 10 or 11 if he won the race to be champion. So I was kind of stressed a little bit on moto. I was kind of, okay, I can't do any mistake, but we managed to do 8, I think. So now it was a good race.
Andrea Ruggiero, Moto Now blog. Tom, we kind of noticed that you and Hayden Deegan kind of had words both at press day yesterday and also during practice today. Could you kind of talk about what was happening between you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew, like, Aiden tried to mess with me already from press day, but I kind of understand it. I mean, in this position, I would maybe do the same, to be honest. He's still young, and he's riding good. Especially today, he rode good all day, and he tried a little bit to mess with me, but I cannot really be angry at him, because maybe I would do the same. You know, like when you're second and you're chasing, we're training so hard all year for that title, and I cannot understand, to be honest, messing a little bit with me.
Jace from Gypsy Tales, mate, congratulations. So 2-time MX2 world champion, that's a very, very hard series to win. That's a very competitive series. Maybe I'm interested to know a comparison. It's a shorter series here. You've got a lot of these kind of breaks and, you know, different conditions and different tracks and completely different discipline. But how does it compare to winning an MX2 title? And then going into the scenario tonight, there's a lot of pressure. Do you draw on that MX2 championship experience?
I think so, yeah. That's helped me a little bit tonight, but I would say that title was harder than the one in MX2. I feel like it's only my second year in Supercross, so I feel like I still have a lot to learn, and I'm actually learning every race, I feel like. So I feel like in GP I kind of control. I knew what I was doing a little bit more in outdoor, and feel a little bit more safe. And it's actually a championship with 20 races, so it's way shorter, and you cannot do any mistake. And it was hard today, to be honest. A little bit harder, I would say, than my 250 title in Europe.
And I know that English isn't your first language, so do you want to take a moment to just give a message to the French fans and maybe friends and family at home in French?
Yeah, I can. Non, c'était vraiment une journée incroyable pour moi, et je suis vraiment content dans ma deuxième année à remporter le championnat. Je remercie vraiment tous les gens qui me regardent en ce moment, qui vont regarder dans les prochains jours, et non, c'était vraiment incroyable, et je suis vraiment content. Merci à tous.
All right. Awesome, Scott.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now blog. I think you impressed a lot of us with the improvement you made this year as opposed to last year. Can we expect to see that same level of improvement outdoors?
I think so, to be honest. I don't know why last year when I started outdoor I was struggling a lot. And I started a little bit riding outdoor a few weeks ago. I kind of focused on Supercross. I didn't really ride a lot, but I rode a few days, and I feel way better than last year. So I'm pretty excited for outdoor. I don't know why, since those nations, last year I actually rode pretty good there, and I feel way better. The setting of the bike are pretty good, actually. So I'm pretty excited to be actually in 2 weeks in Para, and I really think I will be way better than last year.
Haley?
Haley from Race Day Live. We got to ask RJ, and I want to ask you the same thing. What is your plan now, or what was it you would like to do? Because you have a year to defend.
I don't know, to be honest. I didn't really think about it. Like, I tried to do each championships I don't know. I heard like the rules change, I think. So if I don't win next year, I can still race 250, I think. But if I win 2 in a row, that's of course the goal. I will move to 450 full time in 2026.
Jamie Guida.
Jamie Guida, Vital MX. Yeah, first of all, congratulations. I want to change the subject just a little bit. With your success in the last couple of years, we've been hearing about some of the other MXGP guys might want to come over, guys like Kaida Wolf, Conan brothers. Have any of those guys reached out to you and kind of asked you about your thoughts about them coming over?
Yeah, actually, not everyone, but I'm still in contact with a lot of guys over in Europe, and I heard a lot of 250 guys want to come over here and in the US and race Supercross, and I really think it's pretty cool. But to be honest, it has been hard. I was pretty good the last 3 years in 250 in Europe. I won on the last 3 years 2 championships, and I feel like I'm not going to say faster than those guys, but I was pretty comfortable and winning a lot of GP. And I feel like I came here and it was tough. Especially last year, I had a lot of up and downs and a lot of low, to be honest. Like after the race, after the Supercross, I was like, did I make the right choice to come here, or should I? I mean, it was tough, to be honest. And I'm pretty happy this year is going good, and my motivation, I would say, is a little bit better than last year for sure. But I heard, yeah, a lot of guys want to come. So if they want to come, that would be great, I think.
I agree. Thank you.
Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from Racetracks Online. Tom, kind of similar question about motocross. Obviously, excellent sophomore Supercross season here, winning the title. I guess just continue to talk about how motivated you are going into pro motocross, knowing that you can take a jump like you did here in Supercross.
Yeah, I actually feel way more relaxed right now. That title is done, and I actually won it in my second year, so I feel like, okay, we can really focus, and I really want to prove something in outdoor. Like, I feel great. I had a great winter working with Chase, Levi, and Peter, my trainer, so my body feels good, and that's really gonna help me in the outdoor, and I'm sure like the riding is better than last year, so I'm pretty excited. I really want to ride better than what I did last year. Obviously, wasn't that great, and I wanna do it way better this year.
Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks, Alex Gobert, motoronline.com. When you think back to Detroit, the way that the season started for you, I think it was 18th position. Was this even a realistic possibility at that point, considering how short the season is?
No, I would say after Detroit, after the crash, I was like, okay, this is done. But actually, Austin Faulkner crashed in the second race, and we all came back pretty close in the points in the championships. And after Daytona, I think in the third race, I was already like maybe 4 or 5 points behind the first guy. So I was really surprised, and turned out pretty good for everyone. Actually, I think Aiden was in the same position at me. We were all back to like only 4 or 5 points to the leader. So it was pretty crazy after Daytona, and then the championships was on after that.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Brent Bowser.
Yeah, Brent Bowser, Whiskey Thorough Media. A 2-time MX World Champion, 250 Supercross Champion. Did you expect it to come so quick? And also, what has been the hardest thing that you've had to deal with since coming to the States and riding Supercross?
That was my goal. That's actually why I was thinking about it a little bit earlier. Like in 2022, I won my last title in Europe, and I think at this moment I still didn't know if I was coming here. In 2022, I decided right after the last Supercross, I was like, okay, I was watching on my laptop every night like the Supercross, and I was like, okay, I wanna do that. That's really my goal for the next years. And we only 2 years later, and I already won the title, so it's pretty amazing, to be honest. I've been watching my whole life since I'm a kid, the Supercross, and to actually won the title in the second year is pretty amazing. And I don't know if I would have expected to win that early, but that was really my goal.
Cool. Any follow-ups? We good? All right. 2015, last KTM to win a 250 championship, Marvin Muscan, who's been helping you out, and you have done well. Congratulations, Tom Vialle, your 250 East 2024 Monster Energy AMA Supercross champion. We're going to get our Supercross Futures podium in here, and we'll give you a chance to talk to them. The future of the sport. We're going to line them up. Epic battles for these three and the rest of the futures throughout the year. So the podium right here, Cole Davies in first, Drew Adams in second, and Gavin Towers in third place. Big round of applause for our futures. Excellent job. I'll start with you, Cole. You won the opening round this year and then kind of slowly got sent back, I believe second, third, and fifth, and then come back to win the final round. Excellent rebound. Well done. I want to ask you your opinion on how you feel about how important this Futures program is for you as you're making your way into the pro class.
Yeah, it's definitely good to get experience doing the Futures, and I've improved at each round, so yeah.
Hey, one more question. I think you talked about it. I want to talk about Daniel Blair and how much he's helped you and the Orange Brigade and what he does for you guys.
Yeah, Daniel helps heaps, and yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty hard to do this without him, so yeah.
All right, fair enough. Let's go to our press here. Scott, start us off.
Scott Yarger, MotoNet blog. Gavin, do you have any plans for going pro at this point, and do you have a situation or contract already with Star for that?
No, I'm not really 100% sure what my future holds. I know I'm going back home or to Tallahassee tomorrow, and then honestly from there I don't have really a game plan, but I have some good people in my corner, and so kind of figure it out as we go. But as for racing any outdoors, it would be mainly if somebody got hurt, I believe. But yeah, I really don't know where I'm going from here, but we'll be back on outdoors, so I do know that.
And can I extend that question to Cole Davies and Drew? Can you answer that, Cole? What are your plans to go pro? Are you going to spend more time in the Futures or take it to the next level?
Yeah, nothing's confirmed at the moment. I'll go pro when I'm ready, so yeah.
All right, how about you, Drew? Same?
I'm going racing Canada Pro Nationals for a little bit, and just kind of get me prepared for what's to come in the U.S.
Okay, sounds good. Next up, went out here, have a question. Let's go to Jamie Guida.
Drew, you just Jamie Guida, bottleneck. Sorry, Drew, you just mentioned the Canadian Nationals. When did that? Who helped make that decision? Was that something you wanted to do? The team wanted to do? Where did that decision come from?
Yeah, it's just kind of me and my guy Dan Truman and Ryan Holiday. We just kind of worked it out a little bit. I figured it'd be the best thing to help me get ready for the Pro Nationals here. Hopefully, a few at the end of the year. So yeah, we just worked that up a few months ago, and it's coming up soon.
Yeah, that should be good to watch. Appreciate the racing.
Thank you.
Ryan Nitson.
Yeah, Ryan Nitson with Cycling News. My question is for Gavin. Gavin, love watching you ride because you're always down to send it. But what do you feel like you've learned the most by going through the Futures program this year?
Just how important bike setup is and how different it is during the week. I mean, during the week, it really doesn't matter what you do. I mean, I could be as fast as can be during the week, but if you don't really show it on the weekend, it really doesn't matter. You're only really showing the guys at the farm. So, and how different the tracks are. I mean, we get one extra session except today, but normally we had one extra session to learn the track, but you have to learn it pretty quickly, and it breaks down a lot more than the test track. So those are kind of the biggest things that I've learned and took away from these Futures.
Brent Bowser.
Yeah, Brent Bowser, Whiskey Throttle Media. This question's for all three of you. Kind of tying back into the question that Gavin just answered. How has it been racing Futures this year for you guys? And, you guys are obviously riding the practice tracks with all the guys on your team. How different is it racing the Futures program compared to riding a day at the practice track where everything's, kind of good and not super ruddy and everything, and you guys are in a familiar place?
Well, for me, the biggest factor is how rough the tracks get. They get so rough during the day, and we're always having the roughest track to race on. So, yeah, it's been a big factor.
I would have to say that I'd have to agree with Cole. You know, today we kind of had like either really muddy tracks or we had the roughest track for our main event. So, you know, the test tracks just don't really get like the race. Like you can watch it on TV and stuff, but it doesn't look like that on TV. I can tell you from experience.
Cool, Jace.
Cole, Jace from Gypsy Tales. So last year you came over and you did some futures and you didn't make the statement that you did this year. What changes between when I saw you race the last one to this year now and, you know, not dominating, but you're consistently one of the best guys in this class?
I've just gotten bigger, stronger. I've done a lot of bike setup. I got my bike a comfy place, so yeah, that's helped heaps, and yeah, I've improved it every round, so yeah.
Scott Yarger, Moto Now blog. Drew, as a Canadian, it's really exciting to see you go up north and race. I'm curious, do you like watch the Canadian Nationals? What are your expectations racing those guys?
Well, I've watched a few rounds, and this year I think my main competition will be Tyler Medaglia and Benoit, I think his last name is. So I've watched a little bit on YouTube, you know, and during the Canadian off season, Dylan Wright comes down and trains with me. He rides outdoors while I ride Supercross, but you know I get to hang out with him every day, and he kind of like tells me the way of how it's going to be up there, and I'm going up there to stay with him for the first 3 rounds while I'm out there. So, you know, I mean, I have pretty high expectations going into it, and we're just going to learn from the first round.
Excellent. Mitch, are you good? Do you have a question?
Yeah, I'll go real quick. Mitch from RacerX Online. This one's for all three guys. The way this program is set up, it's, you know, the qualifying main events get you guys into this finale, and then it's kind of a winner takes all. Do you guys kind of wish there was a championship throughout the season, or kind of, you know, because it's kind of whoever sends it the most tonight, I guess? So kind of what's your approach to the qualifying races and then the approach through tonight's main event as well?
Yeah, it would definitely be better if we had a championship. It'd be definitely better to like the boys had like RJ and stuff. They had championships on the line, and it's for us. It's just all down to one race. But yeah, it'd be good to have like that in the bank to learn how to manage a championship and stuff like that. So yeah.
Gavin, go ahead.
I think it'd also be pretty good as well. But I feel like if you're going to do that, they can't have the races be like one weekend and then take like 5 weeks off and then do another one. Like it just could be a little bit more, I feel, just kind of get into a rhythm, learn it a little bit more. So yeah, I think they should, if they do that, I think they need to keep them a little bit closer, maybe add a few more would be cool. But for the most part, it's pretty awesome. We get to ride some West Coast, East Coast, so I got to do a little bit of it all and then come down to the showdown. But yeah, I think it'd be pretty awesome to kind of have like a full championship and, you know, points and everything.
Drew?
Yeah, I definitely am all for the championship, you know, just because it kind of, it's just kind of like the pros, you know. We could, like you could just go race Anaheim 2 and get 5th and qualify for it and then not race anymore and train the whole time and then come here and race, you know. You don't have to go travel around and do the other 3. So I'm pretty for a full championship.
And then one real quick one, Cole, is there any chance we see you race the Loretta Lynn's Amateur Championship this year, or do you know yet?
You might see me there. You never know.
What about Drew and Gavin? Do you guys know yet, or?
I'm pretty sure I'm racing it, yeah.
I don't know if I'm racing or not. Like I said, I don't really know much more than this next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, congratulations to our 2024 AMA Futures National Champion, Cole Davies. Well done. Drew Adams in second, Gavin Towers in third. That'll conclude our press conference here for the 2024 season of Monster Energy AMA Supercross. Thank you to our VIPs. Thank you to our amazing press. You are incredible. Thank you so much for what you do to promote this sport on your podcasts and your TV shows and everything you do. It's just amazing. So thank you so much. Thanks to everybody who makes this happen. Please don't forget the auction is still live. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Go to supercrosslive.com/St. Jude. Thanks again, y'all. We'll see you at the Pro Motocross Series and the SMX